What's up, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for joining me. WCA3 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty here with you. Late night, Wednesday night here, and just got to track some storms here with you. So if you're hanging along here with us here tonight, again, it's about 11:03 Wednesday evening here, and just watching some storms here. Not looking at anything too out of control, but I had some people asking about, well, what do you expect here for tonight with these storms as they come in, and are we going to see severe weather? There's been a lot of talk, obviously, the last several days about, severe weather potential and how all of that could play out. And so just wanted to kind of let you guys know what to expect here with some of these storms as they are kind of coming out of the St. Louis area. So we thought we would hop on here. Let me know where you are watching from here tonight, and we'll see if we can answer any of your questions here. And want to make sure that everything is working good, and you can see and hear us as always as we kind of do our little check on things here tonight. So welcome in. As again, my name is Kevin Lighty, Chief Meteorologist here at WCIA. Staying here with you is what we call babysitting the storms with you, and just kind of keeping a close eye on things as storms roll across the area, especially to our south. So far, nothing major here, but we're just watching some of these storms that actually earlier were tornado warned out of the St. Louis metro earlier, but this is what's left. Not much, right? It looks like we got Thomas Burrow. Amanda is in the house here. Atwood, watching some thunder and lightning. Nancy over in the Rantoul area. Again, we're coming to you here from the WCA3 Plus studio. How you guys doing? Thanks for joining us here tonight. This is where the magic happens. This is kind of the one-man band show here where we can kind of do it all and be able to talk to you guys about what's going on. So a little behind-the-scenes look there for you tonight. Mel is in here from Rantoul. And again, here's what we've got here, folks. We've got some pockets of showers and thunderstorms that continue to move across the area. And, right now it looks like Pana. You guys, maybe they're in southeastern Christian County, a little storm there on top of you guys. Let's just kind of see what's going on with any of the lightning with this. We've got some lightning strikes there on our storm there in southeastern Christian County. And I'm going to back this off so we can just kind of look at lightning here over the last 5 minutes or so instead of the last 15. So we kind of see the latest strikes are. Again, more of those storms here, as you can see down here west of Vandalia, starting to find some of those storms moving in. Thunder in Charleston, says Heather. Bryce just drove through rain in Christian County, heading to Taylorville. May want to adjust the colors on the radar, as that was much heavier than the standard green shower. Okay. Raining and thunder in Tolano, Champaign, just a few blocks from the newsroom is Jennifer. Hey, how you doing, Jennifer? Fisher. Melinda is in the house from Fisher. So here are the storms down near Vandalia. Again, so I'm going to guess, who was that? Bryce that drove there in Christian County. I'm going to guess you were coming down here from near Pana then. You're probably driving down this way. Is what I was guessing. Up here, the stuff is a lot lighter here in Champaign, yet it is raining here outside the studio. Sedoris, Ivesdale, Beemint, Atwood, Hammond, the Place, Mount Zion, Dalton City rain. A little heavier pocket there southwest of Bethany. Moequa finding the showers. And then, did you notice all of this here? No lightning strikes in any of these locations. Hey, I think I said that, and then I think I just saw a lightning strike on our Champaign camera. Oh, is that one right there? That's how far south we can see some of those lightning strikes. The lightning, if you saw it there on the Champaign cam, that's the middle screen there, which I think I can take. Can I take that? I know there's a way. There's a way somehow. Yeah, we'll pull that up here in a second. There was the little lightning strike that just showed up. It was all the way down in Lovington, and we just saw that from up here in Champaign. So there's that one little lightning strike there. And then more of the lightning happening down here in Shelby County, Findlay, Shelbyville. Again, look at the heavier stuff. That's definitely down here into southeastern Christian County, in the Pana area. Nathan hanging out down there in Charleston's got a little light rain. Gibson City from Tasha joining us here. Yep, came up from Pana, says Bryce. Dumping buckets down there. Danielle is from Leroy and has joined us here. Hayden, Loud Thunder in Shelbyville. How does Mattoon look tonight? Well, we're watching storms move in. Candy. It's raining pretty good here in Springfield. Still hearing thunder in Atwood. Rain in Champaign. Some of the reports that you guys are giving us here. But again, we just had this most recent little lightning strike. Right there. Let me see here. I used to be able to draw. Thanks for joining us up here again. We're doing a little live stream. Nothing is severe right now. Nothing is severe. So that's some good news. No severe storms in our neck of the woods. But we're watching this here. Just watch the loop of these storms over the last few hours. And you can see there is a little bit of, this movement to the north, okay, and east. So we're just going to watch these guys right down here. Lots of lightning west of Mattoon, says Mel. Big thunder booms and lightning east of Clinton, says Sandy. Thunder in Arthur, says Ashley. Glad to be getting the rain, Bryce. Fend off some of the drought down there. Definitely need the rain to help the mushrooms, says Chris. So, looks like we've got some of you up here with us tonight. Thanks for joining in here on the live stream, 11:10 on this Wednesday night. Again, right now, nothing severe, but we're starting to get a few more of these lightning strikes as these storms start to move in, and you're going to hear a little bit of that thunder. But just to set your mind at ease, as of right now, these are nothing but heavy thunderstorms, good old-fashioned storms that can bring the really intense winds. But as far as, anything severe, as of this moment, we are not reporting on anything that is severe. Need the rain out here in the country in Danville for the wells, says Eric. Light rain in northwest Champaign, close to Parkland, says Linda. And Rosemary wants to know if there's any chance of a tornado. There's always a chance of a tornado. Always. You can never say never here. If you've lived in Central Illinois for any period of time, you know that things can go from nothing to something real quick. So if anybody ever asks me, is there a chance of a tornado? I'm always going to say, yep. My answer will always be yep. Because anytime it storms around here, you just never know. We have had some of the wildest, benign looking radar signatures, and suddenly somebody goes, I've got a funnel over here. And you're like, what? So it can happen. So I always say, never rule it out. Okay. But the chances, I will say, are low for tonight. They're low. We had some tornado warnings down in the St. Louis area earlier. Actually, during the 10 o'clock, right off the top of the 10 o'clock newscast, the St. Louis Metro had a tornado warning. And that's actually with these storms that are coming out of the St. Louis area here. And you can see they look quite a bit more intense down there when we switch on to the St. Louis radar. So Fayette County, Vandalia, down that way, okay? You guys are going to get, so we're going to be watching Effingham County here before too long as those storms, again, move off there to the east. You may be wondering, okay, why does the radar kind of switch? Well, we're switching between, St. Louis radar and then Lincoln radar or Indianapolis radar. And so it kind of, as you move the map, it switches to the closest one kind of to you. So that's why that kind of happens. So there are storms moving through. Got the rain. Got this one little guy up here. How about this little guy? Right over Middle Fork Forest Preserve, maybe just to the northeast side. All right, let's see here. Heard thunder in Champaign, says Zane. Storming pretty good in Coffeen right now, says Sydney. Generator turned on. Some power out in Shelbyville. At least for your work, says Hayden. Seen some more lightning here in Champaign, raining in Newman. Bring on the storms in Champaign, says Amy. And there's somebody in the chat that is already trying to spam. Oh, I got to get a moderator. Who wants to moderate? Get rid of some of these people. Oh, man. Few lightning strikes here. There's some near Assumption. So, again, looks like the heaviest pocket there in Christian. And get ready to come into Shelby County down that way. Cowden, little lightning strike there. Mickey is in here from Decatur. Thanks for joining us here. It is a very late Wednesday night, but here's what we do. We babysit the storms. I'm WCA3 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty. Thanks for joining me here. Tonight, we do a little late night severe weather coverage for you just to kind of give you an update on what's going on and kind of show you what we've got. And we're just tracking storms. Babysitting the storms here with you, because a lot of people, you're up at night, you hear some thunder, you hear some lightning, wondering what's going on. So that's the whole reason behind it. At this point, there's nothing going on as far as anything reaching severe limits. We don't have anything of 58-mile-an-hour winds or, hail to the size of quarters yet, but there is that potential. Okay, you have that potential. I'm not sure if this is the right graphic. I don't think it is, so bear with me for a second. No. I was trying to show some of the watches that were in effect. I believe they started canceling a bunch of them, but not 100% sure on that. Need to double check that. I saw some messages coming across saying, all right, we've canceled them. And yeah, it does look like they have canceled. The severe thunderstorm watches, the tornado watches, not in effect. So that's some good news. So we just got some good old-fashioned thunderstorms here coming through. Windsor, Seth is over in Windsor tuning in. Thanks. Looks like Misty might be over there in Windsor too. She says raining over there. And Holly there, need somebody to take care of the spammers. Man, they are bad anymore on here, aren't they? Jeez, I feel like every time I post something, I got to go on and block I'm not kidding you. I block 20 people a day of spam kind of stuff. Hey, Valerie down there at OU. There you go. Boomer. Studying from Decatur. Well, thanks for watching the coverage there, Valerie. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck down there. Studying to be a meteorologist. All right. Good for you. I like it. Shout out Valerie in the chat. Brad thundering in Effingham. There's Val. Good stuff. Again, guys, just here with you. We thought we'd pop on for a little bit. I will say this, I've been watching some of these storms up here south of the Chicago area. It was funny. Last night we had severe thunderstorm warnings up in the Chicago metro. Tonight we had severe thunderstorm warnings in the Chicago metro and tornado warnings down in the St. Louis metro. So it was a pretty wild kind of, last 24 hours with severe weather moving through, some areas. So definitely been interesting here tonight watching these storms. And last night kind of moved through the area and bring some severe weather. But for us here in central Illinois, we haven't seen a whole lot. Here's that other cell that's now up here south of Rankin, near Riley now. And going to be heading off to the east. So that's one little tiny little guy that's out there. But so far, nothing here is making me go, oh boy, you got to watch out. These are some good old-fashioned thunderstorms, though, so you're going to have that lightning and thunder and heavy rainfall, but much-needed rain. All right, let's see if let's kick the lightning back on. We're going to do lightning over the past 5 minutes. We can see just the latest strikes. As a matter of fact, let's do even better. I'm just going to shut off the radar, and we're just going to see the lightning strikes, and I will make them a little bit bigger so we can see them. Okay. So these are the lightning strikes in the past. Oh, there's a warning. There we go. Warning just issued. As soon as I say boom, there it is. And actually, this is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag that's showing up. Okay. So Fayette County, we talked about that area with that little storm down there. And let me just kind of finish this up, and then we'll get back to that warning that's down there. Look where we have lightning strikes. It looks like, some well up here north of Livingston County. One little guy on that one storm we were talking about over there east of Middle Fork. And then here are the lightning strikes. Looks like there's one over there that occurred there near Iliopolis. And then the cluster here south of Mowequa to Assumption. And so again, this is just purely looking at the lightning strike. So you can just kind of get an idea of where it's actually storming and, not just raining. And then we get down here, Herrick, and then more of the storms. Look at all those lightning strikes within the warning. So here we go. Let's switch back on the radar. We'll do a little tracking. Kick on the radar. And we're going to shut the lightning off for now. And so, all right, there we go. So again, weather service opting to go with the warning down here. Coming into the Vandalia area. It's like there's some decent winds in there. That's actually what I'm seeing are maybe some of the winds within the storm. So I'm actually going to switch this over to my other little product here. Kind of do a little better analysis on this. So here we go. We've got our warning that is down into Bond County, clips Marion County, and it's mainly for this right here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch this over to velocity. We're going to see the winds. There you go. There's some really strong winds down here, actually. Now that's shooting about about 5,000 feet up. But there's some strong winds here. And as a matter of fact, on that little area there you're actually, look at the reflectivity there. You don't see much, but then there are some winds, obviously, aloft in that storm. And so that's why they've issued that warning that's down there. So that is going to kind of track there along and south of I-70. I mean, the warning does include all the way to Effingham County on the western edge there. It doesn't include Effingham County yet, but these are winds. That's why they're issuing this. So Vandalia, and then as you cross US 51 there, that comes all the way down from Pana, Ramsey, Vandalia. Those are your strong winds that are coming in to that kind of neck of the woods down that way. So watching those storms, severe thunderstorm warning in effect down there is what we're looking at. So I'll do a little movement on this, kind of show you how it's tracking. So yeah, I mean, if you're in Effingham County, we're going to be watching that as it comes in. There are some stronger winds in there. We'll see what we get, but indications are that this is a wind threat that we're tracking. So we'll continue to keep an eye on it here. Rolling back, looking at some of your comments here. Windy in Thomasboro, loving the sound of thunder with the windows open tonight. Thanks for keeping us updated. You're welcome, Rebecca. See, pretty laid back here in Huntington Beach, Orange County, says Steve. All right. Good for you. Marsha, when will they get to Petersburg? It's going to be a bit. Bellflower, what kind of warning is it? Severe thunderstorm warning, bad storms, says Mary Lou. And yes, severe thunderstorm warning is what we're tracking here, folks. Down here in Fayette County. Fayette County has the warning. Again, kind of a broken line of storms. But you look within it, and it's this little pocket of winds in here that I think that are causing the warnings to get issued. So again, northern Marion County and Fayette County there. It does include St. James and St. Elmo, and is moving off there to the northeast. So yeah, eventually Effingham County, if some of those winds, maybe Edgewood, because if you kind of just extrapolate out kind of this, area where the winds are, and you take it to the north and east, what you're talking about is maybe the southwestern portion of Effingham County that would get hit by that. So that's what we are looking at there. Elsewhere, again, as I mentioned, it's, and what we're going to do, we'll switch back over to the Lincoln radar here. Again, not much. Got that little storm over there east of Rankin, Hoopston. Little tiny little cell there. It's kind of standing out on its own. For the rest of us, this is just general rain. Champaign, Monticello, Decatur, Tuscola. Then you get into some of these little pockets in Shelby County and more lightning strikes showing up here in these areas. And then you get down here. And again, it's storming in Effingham too. Look at that. But the St. Louis radar was giving us a little bit better of a view. So we'll switch back to that, at least for this storm down here. So a little pocket of winds showing up. Thanks for tuning in. 11:25 p.m. here on this Wednesday night as we watch and look at some of the storms kind of coming through here tonight. Thanks for joining us. So I'm not seeing much rotation there. Katie's watching from Beecher City. Shout out, Katie, down there. We're going to be watching that area. Not seeing a ton of rotation. There's a little bit, but nothing distinctive, that's for sure. Just look at that. It doesn't look all that impressive. But we got to watch it. That's what we do. That's what we're going to do. All right, let me switch back over here. We're going to come back to my other radar source. Because I do want to look at something. I want to see what the Weather Service was saying about that warning. So that warning would have came out of the St. Louis area. So, issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Bond, Fayette, Marion. There's a slight surge in the line that poses a threat of sporadic damaging winds and the stronger winds, if the stronger winds can manage to reach the surface. Now, what's interesting, they did put on there the tornado possible tag, which is always really interesting, when they do that. But so far, they're hanging with the warning for now. Rain sounds like it's picking up in Champaign, says Jennifer. Watching in Tolono, Heather. Good lightning and thunder here in Hoopston. Hey, what's up, Michael? Have a good night too there, bud. And here we go. We can just... So there's the rain here in Champaign. It's coming down. outside the studio there along Neal Street. So for those of you in the Champaign area, I mean, that's what it looks like. Nothing too out of control. We'll maybe start to point to the Effingham camera here in a bit. But that's what we've got here so far. Ponding of water there, the normal spots along Neal Street. So there we go. Back to the big view. Heather, raining in Tolona, but nothing scary. There you go. Lou, it looks like it's going to flood. It sometimes does. Pretty common. Is that Warren storm going through Charleston? No. It is not. Charleston is way up here. Way up here. Matter of fact, here we go. Let's do this. Charleston is 60 miles away from the core of that storm. So no, it is not. But it is moving off here to the east and may eventually head into Effingham County here before too long. So we're going to watch that. It is good sleeping weather. I'm not going to lie. I am jealous. I can hear the rain on the rooftop here. I can just lay down. I love a good storm when it's not severe and I can be at home. So definitely enjoy that. But we're just kind of being extra cautious here with you tonight. As I mentioned, babysitting these storms, keeping an eye on them. Nothing of major concern at this very moment, but I will say this. I'm going to switch. Some of those storms down there in Effingham County, picking up a little bit down there in Cumberland County, to be honest with you. I'm going to kick back over to my other radar source here. And look at this guy here. Diederich, South Bonhoeffer territory. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if things are picking up a little bit there in Cumberland County, Toledo, Montrose, heading towards Greenup. A little heavier pocket showing up there. Let's come back and do some of the lightning strikes with this. Lightning can tell the story. We're going to do lightning over the last 5 minutes. Hey, this little storm up here, still rocking pretty good up there near Hoopston. Shout out to any of our folks that are watching up here tonight in the Hoopston area. Jennifer, an email in studio at home. You know what's funny is like during COVID, they actually made me do weather from home. I was in Las Vegas the weekend that everything shut down, and so I when I flew back, they were all like, "You've got to quarantine." So they made me stay, even though I wasn't sick. They made me stay home for I don't know, it was like a week or 10 days, or I don't know, maybe I think it was supposed to be like 2 weeks, and I was like, "Listen." Let me come home or let me come back to work. But I had to make a studio down in my basement there for, a good week and did weather from down there. It can be done. It can be done. All right. So watching our storm here in, well, it's going to be up there near Wellington too, right? Old cell there north of Hoopston. Got the lightning strikes going. Yeah, I mean, that's right there near Wellington, right? Oh, as I take the lightning off, that's a little heavier stuff there. If you're watching us over there, what is that? Man. 300 North? 300 North Road? I got to get a bigger monitor here. That's where that's located. That little guy right there. Look at that by itself. I mean, that's, look at the red color there, and then look at the rest of us. This is just a general rain. This is general rain in Champaign and Danville and Tuscola. Okay, not much to see here. Matter of fact, we even just kind of throw on some of the lightning. Where's our lightning at? It's like we had one lightning strike there near Moequa, another in there south of Sullivan, but by far down here in Shelby County, east of Pana, Cowden, seeing a cluster of the lightning strikes. And then, as I mentioned, our little storm here, this thing's had a little uptick. Green up. I think you're going to get a little storm here in the next few minutes as that cell moves off here to the east. That thing's kind of gone, started doing its thing. There's the movement of it. Riding right along I-70. So you're going to have Woodbury to green up to Casey. Probably catch that guy coming in here in the next few minutes. We're all great people for letting us know about these things and keeping us safe. Yeah, sure, Zane. It's my job. I've been doing weather for 25 years. 25 years I've done this. Yeah. Still love it. Heather's eating dinner right now and heading to bed. Son got down with baseball practice a couple hours ago. Well, the good thing it was a few hours ago because it would not be good with this kind of weather. Lots of lightning in Dieterich, says Sammy. Yep, looks like it. Lou, what time should storms weaken? The next couple hours. Loud thunder, Beecher City shook her house a little, says Katie. Heather had to close her dog grooming salon during COVID. Yeah. Isn't that wild to think of that was 6 years ago? Right? Am I doing was that really 6 years ago? Oh my goodness. Where has the time gone? Barb's down here watching from Florida. Well, good for you down in Florida. Susie, what's it look like for Charleston? Well, so far, just general rain. Maybe a few lightning strikes. So this storm here, probably it's going to stay south of Charleston, but if we just kind of track it, I mean, that thing's looking pretty good there. Let me see if there's any wind in there. I'm not seeing as much wind in that storm. Probably still some wind in that Vandalia storm that is back to the west. This one here is heavy rainfall and quite a bit of lightning, more than anything. All right, thanks for joining us here. Take a little drink of water. All right, folks. Again, severe thunderstorm warning down here in Fayette County. They haven't carried it east into Effingham County here yet. I mean, this storm here into Cumberland County is looking a little bit stronger. East of Effingham, you can see some of the lightning strikes there. Pat says Allenville rain with rounds of boomers and light shows. Boomers and light shows, huh? You talking about my parents? Please, somebody laugh. My husband and I got married the day before COVID hit. Says ISIS? Honeymoon watching everything shut down is weird. Yeah. All right. Hey, Lou gave Lou with the emoji shout out. Let's come back and check on our little storm here in southeastern Iroquois County. That thing has got some lightning on it, folks. Lighting things up over there. East of Wellington, that's going to be Prairie Green. South of Stockland. And eventually going to be heading over into Indiana territory. Good old Cheneyville. Right along Highway 9. So again, just some general rain here, pockets there, Tolono, Broadland side. I'm not even seeing lightning. So what's interesting is some of you saying, I see lightning in Champaign. Yeah, you're seeing lightning from the storms that are all the way down here to your south, because there aren't any lightning strikes that have occurred. Or maybe you could have saw the lightning strikes up there near the Hoopeston area, northern Vermilion County. But if you're in Champaign, you're seeing lightning from storms, in other locations, because the lightning tracker is good. It shows exactly where some of that is. Yeah, storms should actually weaken in the next couple of hours. I'm not looking at anything too out of control. All right, let me see if our friends at the Weather Service have said anything else. The warned portion of the line is on the downward trend. We have trimmed the Clinton and Bond from the warning. If this trend continues, we'll likely be able to cancel it early. That's from the St. Louis Weather Service office. But now let's see what we've got here from Lincoln tonight. They haven't said anything in their little chat for a bit. Just canceling watches and whatnot. Again, there are no watches in effect now. But yeah, we did get a warning. Brief period there of a warning. Good old-fashioned thunderstorm, but man, if you're down there, you're going, it's very interesting, kind of the psyche and psychology of humans when it comes to storms and whatnot. And, it's kind of half the reason why we do jump on here and try to tell people, hey, here's what's going on, here's what to expect. But you see the storm that you see right there, okay? That storm there is not severe. Now, it's a good storm, and it is dumping heavy rainfall. You might have some 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts in there, but I'm not seeing much of any hail. Maybe you get P, and I'm not seeing rotation on it. But if you're underneath that storm, you may, take it as, it's coming down. Yeah, it probably is. It's raining hard. And, you got a bunch of lightning, but is it actually reaching severe criteria, which is 58-mile-an-hour winds or quarter-size hail? And if it doesn't, then you're never going to get issued a warning. They won't overwarn storms just to overwarn them because it's raining heavy, or there's a lot of lightning, or you've got gusty winds of 45 miles an hour. You've got to get to 58 and quarter-size hail. It's one of those, or tornado. So it's always interesting because, a lot of people, it's so bad where I'm at. It could be a lot worse, because if there's not a warning, for you, that means there's a lot of room for that storm to maybe get a lot stronger. But that's, it's always interesting to people because, yeah, listen, I get it. You're down here and you're coming in, you're in Toledo right now. You're going, listen, I don't know what you're talking about, weather guy. It's storming, like the Dickens out here, and we got a gully washer, and there's lightning everywhere, and the winds have picked up, but it's not 58-mile-an-hour winds or quarter-size hail. So it's, and that's what they have deemed as severe. That's what can do damage. So otherwise, it's a storm with quite a bit of lightning, as you can see. The lightning strikes are nothing to, but right now. Now, could that change? Could this strengthen and get to 58-mile-an-hour winds or quarter-size hail? Yes. As of this moment, it is not. Getting pretty loud in Altamont, says Amy. Radar looks a bit scary. Is the tornado risk for Friday going to be high? Probably not. And Mary, thanks for the update. You're welcome. And Mason, shout out. Welcome in, Mason. Okay. Still looking at some of those winds there on our storm. And let me switch over to our other product here. We're just going to look at these winds. So look at these winds over here, Vandalia, right about here. This area here. So there's Altamont, where somebody was just mentioning. There's some stronger winds in there. 45-mile-an-hour winds, maybe. So again, you may see this kind of kick up. So it looks like they've dropped the warning. So the warning's not in effect anymore. But again, that's the velocity signature that we're looking at. So the heaviest rain and storms, the two are actually going to be here in Cumberland County, Toledo to Greenup. And then our cell up here, that's getting ready to cross over into Indiana. That's been east of Wellington, Stockland area, and here's your state line right here. We're in good old Embia, Indiana. Bunch of wind farms and whatnot over there. Early wind farms. I remember them growing up. All the wind farms early on over there. Kentland. So that storm again now pushing into Indiana. Benton County, I believe. Benton County. Rest of us, general rain. Decent soaking rain, Danville, Champaign, Rantoul, Tuscola, Decatur, Sir Gordo Beement, Sullivan, Lovington, Bethany Arthur, and then you down here, and okay, here we go. A little stronger, a little heavier. Toledo, Greenup. All right. Jewett down to Rose Hill. Effingham, just some general rain, and then this little area here, which doesn't look all that impressive on radar when you look at it from velocity. Of course, now I'm getting some bad data in there, but nothing too wild at this time. So there you go. Toledo, Rose Hill, Shelbyville, seeing the storms, Cowden. Let's see here. Anyone else have storm anxiety? Somebody asking about that. Thanks for bringing the nice weather for your birthday tomorrow, Nicole. Happy birthday. Yeah, tomorrow looks to be pretty nice, actually. Sarah's on the state line in Indiana. Sarah? You have to narrow that one down. We're at on the state line of Indiana. It's a long state line. Is Danville only going to get rain tonight? Matthew? Yeah, probably just some rain. You might get some thunder and lightning. Ooh, that's a good one, Lauren. How far does the sound of thunder travel after a lightning strike? So if you've heard the term that light obviously can travel further than sound. So lightning, you can see lightning strikes from really far away, but you can't hear thunder from really far away because the sounds eventually kind of, fade away. But with light, we can see light all the way, from the sun, right? So that's where you talk about light years and whatnot. But for thunder, it can actually only be heard from I think it's 15, 20 miles away, roughly. Maybe 20, maybe 15 to 25 miles away. So it's not a huge distance, right? So that's the whole heat lightning thing. A lot of people in the summertime think that there's a thing called heat lightning, and that's just kind of a term that was made up, but basically from storms that are too far away for you to hear the thunder. because you can't hear the thunder. The sound waves, kind of break up and whatnot, so you don't get that, audible, sound from really far away. But you can see the lightning from really far away because light travels further than sound by a lot. So that's kind of the explanation of why you can see lightning from 60 miles away, sometimes, and not hear the thunder. So that's all what quote unquote heat lightning is just lightning from a thunderstorm that's too far away for you to hear the thunder. Candy can't sleep in Mattoon until they all clear. I gotcha. I mean, it's not looking too bad right now. We'll watch this little guy coming out of Shelby County here for Mattoon, but nothing too bad here yet. Thundering in Bishop. Always count after the strike. Yeah, you can do the whole counting thing where you can count for every 5 seconds you count, then that lightning bolt was 1 mile away. Nicole, what causes the signature curl on radar indicating rotation? You mean kind of like the hook? The hook. So the hook happens because you get rotation in the storm. So this isn't a hook here, but you get basically winds. It's called RFD, roof length downdraft, kind of wrapping in on the backside of the storm. You got inflow that's coming into the storm, and it essentially kind of shapes the storm, and you get that little hook. The hook is what is the storm rotating as you're getting again that inflow coming in, and so that's what kind of causes that. And that's what you have that concern when there's the tornadic potential, but we don't have that tonight. Let's see here. Amy is south of Altamont. Very still, no wind. Perfect normal thunderstorm to enjoy. That's right, Amy. Enjoy it. All right. Oakwood getting anything? Just some rain so far. Lauren, I'm hearing the thunder in Atwood, but the lightning strikes on your map aren't that close. In Atwood, huh? What's funny, in Champaign here so far, I've not heard a single clap of thunder. Yeah, so like we know the speed of sound. That's how there is the calculation. There's the speed of sound, and there's a calculation, which is how you're able to do the math for the flash of lightning and whatnot, because sound travels at roughly 1,100 feet per second, meaning thunder takes 5 seconds to travel 1 mile, right? Because how many feet in a mile, right? Roughly 55, 5600, right? So 1,100 feet per second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 mile. 10 seconds, 2 miles. 15 seconds, 3 miles. So again, we know that because when you have lightning that's really close to you, you hear the loud bang immediately after the lightning, right? It's lightning thunder, right? Wake you guys up here. So you get that. You get the lightning flash, boom. If it's really close to you, thunder, boom, right after it. So the speed that it took for that lightning to reach you was, milliseconds, a second or less if it was really close, right? But if it's further away, because the sound travels at 1,100 feet per second, then you're looking about, a mile away for every 5 seconds. So that's how you can determine. Oh, did I just hear my first clap of thunder maybe? Ooh, might have heard the first clap of thunder in Champaign. We're going to analyze that here in a second. Is this coming towards Tuscola or is it past? Well, it's raining. It's raining in Tuscola. About all I can tell you. Nothing severe. But it's going to storm. So you can determine the distance of a storm from the lightning strike to the sound of thunder. That is correct, Mary. You can determine the distance of the lightning strike. Not so the storm. Depends on the definition of storm. But, yeah. Emily, just make sure it's okay to go to bed. I have 2 kids and we live in a mobile home. Yeah, I'm not concerned about tornadoes tonight, folks. I'll just be honest with you. Just saw lightning in Champaign and thunder. Yeah, Jennifer, I think we saw the same. I saw the lightning on our tower cam there for a second, but yeah, I think I did finally hear that thunder. Check Atwood lightning now, please. Had loud thunder, heard thunder in Champaign. Yeah, see, there you go. All right, so let's do the lightning. Let's go back. Come back to my other radar. Let's see what we got with the lightning. Oh, yeah. Oh, see, we're starting to get yeah, there we go. See, look at this, folks. I'm just going to switch off the radar now. So you can kind of see the lightning strikes better. There you go. There's your lightning strikes that are now a lot closer, and why we were able to probably hear the thunder in Champaign, okay? Because, that lightning strike was 10, 11 miles away, right? And like we said, you can hear the thunder probably 15, 25 miles away. So that's why at least I heard the first clap of thunder. So that lives up to my explanation of being able to hear thunder, but not from, the thunder from, we couldn't hear the thunder from these lightning strikes down here. Not possible. So we're hearing the ones from these little guys. So yeah, there's your lightning strike near Atwood that happened. Another Northern Bument. So we got a handful of them. Again, and I have to tell you, our little lightning tracker here, this thing is really good when it comes to, placing the lightning strikes where they are. I've been really impressed. Like I've watched before where, we get like a lightning strike here. It's like close by. Like, whoa, that was close. And then you look and, you can kind of track it. So, yeah, so that lightning strike there, yeah, yeah. And again, thunder can shake your house with a good lightning strike kind of further away. So, all right, kick back on the radar. So starting to get a few lightning strikes now. Let's see if we can't pull up. Okay. Our Neal Street camera? Hold on. I don't know. Okay. No, that's not what I wanted it to do. What do we got here? Sorry, guys. Let me kick the radar back on. See what that's looking like. Again, general thunderstorm. These are my favorite. Just general thunderstorms. Is it true that lightning never strikes the same place twice? Lightning can strike the same place twice, multiple times. 100 times. For example, do you know how many times the Sears Tower, no, I'm not going to be sorry. The Sears Tower in Chicago gets hit a year? It's a lot. The Sears Tower gets struck by lightning approximately, let's see here, 250 times. So it gets hit a lot. Yeah, thankful for the rain coming in, that's for sure. No AC, so it's helped cool the house down. 66 degrees. Yeah, it's starting to get a little warm here the last few days, right? Just starting to get a little breezy. Or a little warm in some areas. And a little stuffy, I would say, right? So there's our lightning. Oh, wow, look at our storm down here. So, a lot heavier down there. KZ, heading into Clark County. Nothing severe with any of this. But a lot of lightning down on that storm. If you're still with us here, welcome in. It's midnight.